back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing yet another first impressions and review type of video, and today I'm going to be doing a first impressions and review and swatches of the Makeup Revolution Retro Luxe lip kits. Now I have 4 of these. I went out and bought a few of them because I knew I wanted to try them out and also that I wanted to do a video with them. And the idea of these is that you get a kit and it's got a lip liner in it and a matte liquid lipstick, so you're getting the perfect combination, so you have the exact match to match your lipstick, which I think is a really cool idea. And they retail for £6, so they are quite affordable. So today I'm going to be doing a review of them to see what I personally think of them, how they fare on the lips, and the swatches of the ones that I bought to show you what they look like. So I got 4 shades. I didn't get every single shade that they have in the collection because some of the shades I know that I wouldn't wear, like they have a purple one and a really dark brown, like a nudie colour, and they're not the sort of colours I wear. So I've got 4 of the ones that I think that I will like. I got one in the shade Grande, I got one in the shade Noble, I got one in the shade Regal, and I got one in the shade Rain. So I'm going to be swatching these for you, and I'm also going to be doing like a review to see how I think that they are on the lips. Obviously I'm not going out today, so I can only tell you what I think of them based on how they feel initially, but I am going to be wearing one of these tomorrow when I go out to work, so I might film a little snippet at the end of this video that I'll put in, and I'll tell you how I think that they fared throughout the day, because I'm going to be doing a 5-hour shift, so it'll kind of give you a bit of an idea of how they feel and how they wear and their longevity and how long they last. Before I get onto the swatches, I want to first of all talk about the packaging of these lip kits. I love the packaging of these lip kits. They are black and they have been detailed with gold. They have this kind of holographic effect to them, so they've got this really beautiful sheen to them, and they have the words Retro Luxe Lip Kit in white. So I'm now going to get on to swatching them for you. RAP my lips. My lips is seriously going to need lip balm after this. The first one I'm going to swatch is called Grande. The first shade I have on is Grande. Now this is a light petal pink. Now looking at it, it's a little bit 60s looking. It's got a bit of a vintage retro vibe to it. Now I would never usually go with this shade of pink. I rarely go with really pink pinks, but I actually quite like this. But I will make an observation about this colour. On the box, it appears like it's going to be a darker tone of pink. There weren't any testers to try in the shop, so I had to go on the boxes alone. I don't particularly mind that it's this colour, but it is a little bit annoying, the fact that it looks slightly darker on the box to what it does appear on the lips, but you've got this video to refer back to, so you now know that Grande is in fact a very light petal pink. I do like this shade. I actually really think it looks nice, and I just put it on. My mum was like, actually that really suits you, Emily, and it's never the sort of colour that I would usually go for. And in terms of what I think about the feel of them and how they apply, they are a little bit difficult to apply and to work onto the lips. I do really like the lip liners. I think the lip liners are so creamy and they're really easy to apply, and they have got great pigmentation, so I'm very happy with the lip liners to start off with. I do like the lipsticks, but it seems to dry slower. Like it still feels like it's a little bit sticky and tacky on the lips, like it's not quite dried yet. But with some other liquid lipsticks that I use, I'm very used to the lipsticks drying really quickly, but this one seems to be taking its time. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad or a good thing, because maybe that means it's going to be a little bit more comfortable on the lips. But at this stage I have noticed that it does dry a little bit slower, and in terms of what it looks like when it's on the lips, it does seem like it's got very good colour payoff. It's not applying patchy. It doesn't seem to be clinging to any of the areas of my lips. If you're the sort of person who likes light pinks, you're definitely going to like this. The next one I have on is called Rain, and this is more of a nude colour with a hint of pink to it. Now again, I do really like the liner of this, and I do quite like the lipstick itself. I have noticed that this one does appear a little bit more patchy, so you might have to add a lip primer underneath, or maybe just add a little bit more of the product. But I do really like the colour. I think it's a really pretty shade, and it kind of ever so slightly reminds me of Candy K by Kylie Jenner, so it's a similar kind of colour to that. So if you like nude pink tones, I think you'd really like this one. I'm actually really liking Rain. I think this is a very nice, wearable, everyday nude with a hint of pink to it. The next shade I'm going to be applying is called Noble. So this is what Noble looks like on. This is a really, really neutral stony brown with a bit of red to it. This one's a little bit more easier to apply, and this one does have a bit more of stronger pigmentation, and it doesn't apply quite as translucent, so I do really like that about this colour, and I really like the colour itself. This is a little bit more brown than I'd usually wear, but I actually think it quite works. I think this is the right brown tone for me, because brown tones are very difficult to get right. You have to find the right sort of shade for you, and I really like this one. It's a very workable shade, and I think this would look quite nice on a lot of different skin tones. The last one I'm going to be showing you is called Regal. This is an orangey tone red, and I'm very excited for this one. Now, again, this one appears a bit more darker on the packaging, a little bit like Grande did, but it's not that much of a big difference, I don't feel. It's only ever so slightly darker. I also just want to point out that I've noticed that as I've been taking each different shade off, they don't feel very drying on the lips. Like some liquid lipsticks that I apply and then take off, they feel like they're really drying on the lips. But these haven't made my lips feel like that at all. I don't feel like they're really dry or irritated, so I do have to say that is something that I like. And if a liquid lipstick doesn't irritate my lips after I've taken it off or make them feel really dry and patchy and flaky, then that's something that I personally will always look for in a liquid lipstick. So I am really liking that about these so far. Last but by no means least, this is the shade Regal. I love this shade. I think it's the perfect tone of red for me. I usually don't buy red tones because they're usually too blue tone for me. But this one's got a really warm orangey tone, and I really like the colour for that reason. I think this would be a great red for anyone who wants something a little bit more wearable. This one was a little bit more difficult to apply, but I think that's because it's a darker tone. So naturally with darker tones like reds, purples, plums and so on, any imperfection is going to be very noticeable. So I don't think that's a reflection of the lip kits at all. It's just the nature of the colour. So now that I've swatched all of the colours and you can see what the ones that I've bought look like on me, I want to just give you some of my thoughts on what I think of the lip kits now that I have tried them. I really like all of the colours I picked. I personally think that the darker ones apply a little bit more evenly than the lighter ones, but I think that's just because lighter shades of liquid lipstick usually look a little bit translucent, so you have to work with them, especially if you've got a bit of natural colour like I do in my lips anyway. And I just think that they're really, really easy to apply once you get used to them. I love the lip liners. I think they're so creamy. I do like the lipsticks themselves, but I think I prefer the darker ones in formula for the lipsticks than I do the lighter ones. I think the lighter ones are just a little bit more difficult to work with, but that's only a marginal difference. For £6, this is good value for money. My only criticism is that some of the colours don't appear quite as true as they do on the packaging. In particular, Grande, that was a lot lighter than it appears on the box, but that's the only thing that I can think to criticise. I can't really complain about anything else about these. I really like the way that they feel on the lips. I love the colour payoff. I think the pigmentation is amazing. I think that they're really easy to apply. Tomorrow I will of course be reporting back after I've worn one of these as to what I think personally about the staying power and how long they last and whether they have good longevity. Obviously I can't report on that today because I'm only doing a first impressions, but tomorrow I'll be able to give you a better idea of what I think of that. For £6 I personally would recommend them. So that was my first impressions and review of the Makeup Revolution Retro Luxe lip kits. I really like them. I'm so pleased that I bought them, and I really love the colours that I chose. I will add another clip to the end of this video as well, just giving you my thoughts on one of the lip kits and how I found them as I went throughout the day at work. So I will be reporting back after this clip. Hey guys, I'm back from work now, and I thought I would film one final update about my overall views of these lip kits and how I've been finding the one that I'm wearing today throughout my shift at work. So I've worked a 5-hour shift, and I also had to travel home and I had to go and run some errands. So it is now about coming up for 4 o'clock I think, and I've been wearing this since 9 o'clock I want to say. So all in all, I'm really happy with them. I really like this colour. I think it's worn very well. It did start to go a little bit patchy from about 2 o'clock, but that was because I did eat at that point. I had a sandwich and I had a drink, so I think that's probably why. And that is kind of usual wear and tear with lipsticks. I think pretty much most of them do that, to be honest. It's just something that you expect from lipsticks. I did have to touch it up a little bit though during the middle of the day because it did start to go a little bit patchy here. But I like them. I think for the money you can't really go wrong. I think that they do last very well, and for £6 I definitely would say it's a good buy. It's a little bargain and I'm really happy. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!